Okay, we are live. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. We are excited to welcome Mr. Asif Zia, CEO, Codelabs, a leading digital Dubai-based tech company known for building WhatsApp chatbots, CPaaS platforms, and digital automation solution. With over 20 years of experience in tech industry, Asif has led Code Labs to deliver high-impact digital products in more than 15 countries. Today, he joins us to share his insights on building emotionally intelligent teams and driving sustainable innovation from idea to real world. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sujata. Thank you very much for having me today, and it's very pleasant to have this on this sharing my some of my insights on this platform about building the teams. I've been building the teams for the past 15, 20 years. So working with different teams in Pakistan, across Pakistan, in UAE, as well as across the world. So have a good idea about how we can build an emotionally technological tech team. What are their pros and what are their cons? How they act on it? How they believe in the code, because coding is like at the end what we deliver to the customers. Okay. So from what I have been asked about is how we do it. So what's the biggest idea we have on that thing? How it's being impacted on the emotional intelligence for it. So one of the things we do normally is we connect the teams, we connect the customers as like our own family. We have to connect the developers as well as the customers in an emotional intelligence way, where it can say like what is the why the need for it, what is the need for this software to be in the first place, why are we starting with this project. It's not about we just start coding from the day one. We got the files, we got the data, we got, and an architect designed something. It's about how well we can know the customer, what is the actual thing that is required, how the team can go inside the idea behind that particular software. So it's all about why a client felt anxious about a delivery. How do we feel the client comfortable? What are we delivering about? So once we embedded this thing into our culture, then everything is like flowing into it. The normal check-ins, the no blame ratios there, the real mentorship. That's why you don't have to scale an idea by throwing people at it. You have to scale it by unlocking the people you already say, okay, I want to develop it, or we want to develop it. So if we go into so that's the basic emotional thing. Like you own the software. You do not own it as a code. You own it as a software in your life. You're storytelling your software. So that's our first idea about how we go into connecting the team with the emotionally connecting a team with the software itself. That was the first ritual of our software development journey.
Okay, that's really insightful, and definitely it's a part that we don't actually figure out very easily for our yes. Some of the journey, like I'll definitely want to dive into your journey at Code Labs. What was the idea and what had the biggest impact? What role did emotional intelligence play? Basically, scaling it. I do get it. You have mentioned before this, but how the people actually want to know that how we can scale it from this. Yeah.
Scaling, two things are there. So scaling from scaling a software house is or scaling a team is a different thing, and scaling an altogether a business is a separate thing. So we currently talking about scaling a team, about building a team from ground scratch, where we were in a startup in early 2020s. So we in the last 5 years, making a team, or making a running and making a team is the thing we are talking about today. So about his this thing about, like, you need to learn from your team. So being a leader doesn't always mean you are in a leadership position. So it doesn't always mean your word is the last word. So you have to start, you have to learn. Then you have to be like, okay, I am maybe this, I am a CEO, for example, and I can say the last word. But you have to build your team from the ground scratch and says, okay, so where should we start? Should we start from um, uh, uh, talking to the customers? How should we start? Where should we? Because one thing I learned from my mentors, one thing I learned from my seniors is you have to listen to the customers, or but before the customers, to your teams. So whatever the team is saying, you have to judge it out. You have to, once you throw the question in front of the team, you have to ask, or you have to listen them. Then stop questioning them and start listening to the teams. What is the thing that is someone is saying, possibly three levels down the developer's chain, someone is saying something. So it could be useful, it may not be useful, but you can use it somehow. So you have to listen to your team. That's the one thing I have learned in my journey for the last 5 to 10 years of maintaining and building a team.
Yeah, definitely. One, by you were like discussing this thing, I just a quick question popped up in my mind that you have worked across so many regions. What's one surprising thing you have learned about working with global teams? Like, we actually want to know how they have the culture, the structure.
Oh, it depends on the culture itself. So one thing in the developer industry, it's culture. So working with teams in possibly in our neighboring countries is another culture they have. Working in with the teams in the western part of the world is another culture you have. Working with team inside my current country, Middle East, is a different culture it has. So you have to like, when you one of the project we are just completing about, it has developers from across 3 continents. So they are working into different time zones, they are working into different time shifts, and they all have different types of culture within their teams. So they can work on their own time zones. They have their own leaders with them, but all of them have to deliver one project, and that's the one goal we have to deliver. So the most important thing is how you lead them, if you are in a leading position, and how you want to listen to them. My only thing is with the leaders we have, I work them. They have to listen it, and we have myself included. We have to listen what our people or what our developers are saying. If someone is not saying something, doesn't mean they do not have any emotional intelligence there, but they may be going through something else. So you have to go back and you have to listen to them. Okay, what is the problem with them? They are all intelligent people. They are all here because we have handpicked them. We have chosen them. So my only thing is you have to listen to all those geographical teams, what they are saying, and because if they are into this project, means they are capable of doing such kind of a project.
Actually, that's a complete answer to what I was expecting, and also there's one more like people after COVID have shifted towards the COVID hybrid and remote things. This is after COVID, it was a major change in our work cultures. For that reason, I just want to know as well that how do you build team culture when the team is remote or hybrid? How can we use that facility?
See, a lot of teams, a lot of big companies, you name it, Google, Apple, they adopted the work from home culture, WFH. But in the last few years, we are seeing people are now returning back to normal. They are coming back to what they usually have as a 9 to 5 kind of a job. If I would say the right answer, it is difficult to manage. It's difficult to manage the work from home culture. It is very difficult to manage the people because it needs a lot more coordination than having a team inside my office to coordinate. But at the same time, we do have people working for us from homes, working from us across the world. People may go on some kind of a sabbatical, but they want to be connected in some one way or another. So they will be working for us. They will be connected to us, and we are kind of providing them a culture where we can where we can work on a work from home basis. But yes, it is a possibility. But yes, a lot more difficult to manage. But it can be managed.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. And so basically, when intelligence or tech is involved, people have this concept that this is a fast, logical, or a fast-paced answers or scene we will definitely face,
Hmm.
or the answers will be given like logical and fast-paced. Um, what does emotional intelligence fit in this? Like, tech is often seen as logical and fast paced. Where does emotional intelligence fit in this?
Uh, tech is always fast-paced, but remember, we are the ones who made the tech. The people themselves, before they even write one line of a code, they are themselves a human being. They are themselves a person. They have some kind of an emotional thing going on at the back, going on in their own lives. So they are emotionally challenging. Somehow they are at times emotionally overwhelmed. They are sometimes emotionally connected. But our tech is always binaries, one and zeros. So, but again, when you are moving into a tech industry, when you're moving into a tech solution, so once you are inside a tech zone, it is always very fast. But there is a life outside the tech zone. So you have to make a culture available inside your offices, inside your teams, to say to check on those people. Like I said, if someone is not saying something in the meeting, and he or she used to be very vocal, so something is going on, something is not right, something, you have to go back to the team, you have to go back to the person, and ask them what is wrong, is there something we can help, is there something. So you have to make a culture. One of the things my mentor always asked us, and always teach us and taught us, is you have to make a culture, and you have to make an open door policy. So there is not any kind of a way that Mr. Asif's door is closed. So you have to make them understand this is an open culture. You can walk in anytime you want. You can walk in with your problems. You can walk in with your solutions. You can walk in with your suggestions about the company, about the project you're working on. So you have to balance between the emotional persons working and culture, as well as the clients you are serving to. So but because the clients, we always say clients pays our salaries. So because you have to serve the client or the customer, as well as you have to manage your own team. So a leader, being a leader, you need to manage both. On one hand it's the client, on the other hand it's the team you are having. The client can be there for a year maybe or so, but the customer, or your people are there for with you for a very long time. So this is what we do.
Yes, yes, this is very, very helpful. And I do believe that if you are building a team, uh, the communication, I do think the communication and being a leader to the team and looking forward to the clients, you have to listen to the team as well. It's not, I do believe that listening to the team will actually work for your customer as well. And that's really great. And that's actually very helpful. And what would you say to the founder who's struggling to like keep their tech team motivated? Like there are certain things that a founder is listening to the team. Okay, that they got the problem, they are hearing it, they know what the problem is, but keeping the how to motivate the team, what actually are the key points for that? People do get the question and do get the answer that this is the problem, but how to solve that? This is one of the major thing which I do believe that a founder faces every single time from the team. So how you
So,
um,
a couple of things. For example, you can share the why with them. Why they are doing this thing. So they are not robot. They are not robots. They are emotionally intelligent people, and you just share with them why. You're not telling them to code something, because there are AI models available where you can just tell them to code and they can code. But when you putting an human touch to the code, you share the why with them. You always say, okay, why are you doing it? So you have to tell them, please do ask why we doing it. But before they ask you, you tell them why you are doing it. That's number one. Number two, give them the ownership of it. Do not just tell them, okay, do it and do it like that. Give them the ownership. So this is your part of a code. You have to take the ownership to it, and do it like this module is your micromanagement. For example, you do not micromanage yourself. You give them the micromanagement to them and say, okay, do this in your way, how you want to do it. At the end of the day, results will come back to you. That is okay. But before that, give them the ownership. Then recognize the progress, not the result will come after that, but recognize their progress. You have to recognize, okay, what they are doing. Salaries are secondary, but before the salaries, you have to recognize them any way you can, in any one of the ways you can. There are tons of ways to do that. And always do not disappear into the strategy mode only. You have to work with them. Sit down with your team. Even if you are the CEO, sit down with your team. As if I get, but mostly CEOs don't do that. They have other things to do. But once in a time, do sit down with your developers and ask them what is going on. Maybe something is your intelligence can tell them, okay, do it like this way. They are their bosses, so you have to connect with them and like be their family today.
Okay, that's a completely honest and what exactly what early stage founders need to hear. Moving forward to the basically building an emotionally intelligence. Basically, where do you think the next generation of Pakistan startup should focus if they want to build a global tech?
uh, Currently seeing it's an AI. It isn't this the world of AI. People are focusing on AI, and people are building products around AI because it's the leading thing in the world at the moment. And I would say 80%, 60 to 80% of the world's population or the world's tech industry is going into the AI thing, is going into the different kind of core systems that are developing in AI. We are learning about AI for the past 20 years. AI is not a new thing with us, but for the last 20 years, people are sorry, not the 20 years, but the last 2 years, we are seeing a boom into an IT industry where people are moving towards AI, people are moving towards faster coding. I've been working with some of the teams across the globe, and they are now saying we are doing only 30% of our work, or approximately 40% of our work by own ourselves, and the rest of the 60% of the work is being done by AI. People are using and helping AI into their lives, into their industries. We are not writing emails directly as we would like to, because AI can help us maybe tone it down to somehow, maybe helping us to write our tone of writing in emails. So yes, you just don't have to only learn about AI, you have to be working with the AI itself. How do you want to see it into your working of industry? How do you want to see it into your working of clients? How do you embed AI into your systems? So AI is one thing you can always. I'm telling most of the people who are coming to me, especially the younger generations, what they want to learn. I would say, okay, start with learning with the basic algorithms of AI. What is it? How it will help us? How it can make possibly the next generation of 2.0 engineers out of it? What is their impacts on it? So this is what I would think about.
No. Okay, that's very helpful. Okay, so just breaking the seriousness and so, let's dive into a small rapid fire round. Like I just wanted to ask like one word that defines your leadership style. People wanted to know your definitely it's a remarkable achievement you have done. So definitely our audience wanted to know that one word that defines your leadership style.
It's I would say if you ask my team, so they
Yeah.
would say it's kind of a dictator one, but
Okay.
I would let my team to judge it. But I am more of a listening person, and I would like it's more of a coordinating type of a person I am.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hard skills or soft skills? What's harder to take?
It's mostly soft
Basically,
skills.
teach. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
soft skills. Yeah.
All right. Soft skills. A startup mistake you secretly love about because it taught you a lot. Like, what are the startup mistakes that secretly taught you?
Startup mistakes taught me is about being a startup founder, you have to judge very major kind of decisions. You have to judge the financial decisions. You have to judge the emotional decisions. You have to judge the team building decisions. So my mistake, I would say, I wouldn't do is I have to learn more about the financial processes
Hmm.
as a startup, how to get into those, and you have to say, for example, you have to learn and navigate your way around the financial difficulties as a startup. Once you are out of the startup zone, it is way much easier. But once you are in a startup zone, you have to navigate very carefully around the financial decisions. So that is one of the things I have done, but Alhamdulillah, getting over to it now.
Okay. And again, one more a short question: code or strategy?
Strategy. You
Strategy.
without strategy, there's no code, and you
Yeah,
start writing the code without strategy, it's a disaster.
it
Simply
is
strategy,
simply.
always a strategy. Yeah.
One skill every tech founder must have:
Listening. Everyone
listening.
must listen. Listening.
Yes.
Yes. I very seldomly do this, but listen to whatever it is, and read also,
Read
both.
also. Yes, yes, definitely. Biggest red flag in a potential hire.
uh, uh, there are many, but the biggest one is them jumping around their jobs very frequently, very
Yeah.
frequently. So if you haven't been stuck, if you haven't stayed in a place for at least like 2 or 3 years, so it's a red flag. There could be many reasons. There could be many genuine reasons, and there are more, I would say, financial reasons than any other things. But yes,
Mhm.
I would always ask whenever there's a last interview with me. So I will always ask them, why are you jumping so highly in the past like 6 years of your professional career? You have jumped 3 jobs. Why have you done so? Sometimes the reasons are financial. Sometimes the reasons are different. So you have to judge them. But that's a very red flag into. I always taught these young kids, please do make your ground in whatever the organization you first go to. Always judge it. People somehow tends to join the organizations where they are not maybe fit for. They have joined it just for the sake of they are getting the money out of it. but please do stay there, make your growth from there, and
Yeah.
then come back to and then there's no harm in progressing yourself, but do have a strong, firm, uh, um, what you say is as a ground to stay on, and for the next organization to get you on board, and you may be thinking about, because in 1 year of a time, in 1 of your time, you are, for example, if someone is leaving me for after 1 year, 1 year or 6 months is a time where we are teaching them our own practices, and we are teaching them how to do it. We are teaching them, we are inculcating them into our own culture. As soon as they are ready for it, they started looking for another job and they left. So that's a
Mhm.
very painful part. As a tech founder, as a tech company, you mentor someone for 2 years, and they suddenly say, okay sir, I'm going. So this is one of the things we always look out for,
Okay. And one more, like first thing you notice in our team culture.
is how their leader is interacting with the team.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
Okay. And most underrated leadership quality.
I wouldn't. Most underrated is, I don't think so. The no qualities are underrated. As
Yeah.
the qualities are qualities.
That
Qualities are
that's
there, so
that's a
you
perfect.
cannot just, yeah.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer. Okay, let's move forward. That's a really like I really enjoyed doing rapid fires because there's a like very over the time I do believe that our patience and our way of listening has become like very short. So I think with the rapid fires, people can do get the idea and the quick answers. Okay, so. Moving forward, there is one more thing that how can emotionally intelligent teams prevent burnout and toxic work culture, especially in a fast-paced startup environment. This is the one. This is also one question which I got from the audience as well. So we have like talked about it, but since we are like talking, so we can like give one more time to this question as well.
Okay, so it's particularly for the leaders,
Yeah.
for the leaders who are into this position. So they carry the stress themselves.
Mhm.
Yes, the stress is there to answer the customer, because the customer is always asking them what is my progress. So they always carry stress themselves. So you have to uh, lay out the stress to the team. Do not take stress on yourself. Do not take it. Yes, stress is there, but do not carry it over. What they also do, they hold space for everyone, but they do not leave something for them on themselves. They say, okay, you are doing this, I can carry for you. You are doing this, I can carry for you. But they do not have anything for themselves. So though the more stress you take out on yourself, the faster you burn out. That's the only thing. I have learned. I have gone through this phase as well. I have seen this thing. We always taught our us do not take stress, but my mentors always says this. But until unless you experience it, you cannot have this thing in yourself. Do not take stress on it. Yes, you have to deliver the customer, you have to deliver the teams, but as a startup founder, do not take much more stress than it is required, because it will easily burn you out and you will start making mistakes. So do not take stress on it, on yourself.
Okay, great. What's looking back at on your journey? What's one mindset shift that changed everything for you?
My journey is a very kind of a roller coaster ride for me. I have done so many product developments. I have done so many projects. I have been into very different kind of a industry, from payments to fintech to healthcare, and so many other. So this latest one is the software part. So this is where I said, okay, let's make a pit stop for a quite longer time. My 15 years of journey earlier was very difficult, very different in terms of product development. I have done many different products, different IoT things, different e-commerce build-ups. So my journey will be different. So what you can have as a stable, you need to have a very stable platform sometime where you can say, okay, this is where you have to make yourself available to all, like you need to make something out of it. So this is where you can start building yourself. And so this is my journey is now like it's not roller coaster anymore, but yes, it's still a very fast.
Such a powerful takeaway, and I moving to the next question, which is, um, if you could give just like let's wrap it up this session, which was like amazing and very interactive. I would actually appreciate it if you could give just one piece of advice to every aspiring founder in this room. What would it be?
Um, this advice, there are many of them, but it's always say like the company you want to work is make it your own company, like it is your company, and you have to be um, uh, you are there to make it. You are there because you are not the only one here. You are being responsible for the 50 different people you have, and beyond those 50 people there are families, so you are looking after them. So like my mentor always says, and he always says, there's a purpose for everything you do. So in our culture, in our company, in our group, there's a mantra we call as purpose, and then profit. So once you serve the purpose three times, the profit will always come back. So you have to be there to serve the purpose. So once you're serving the purpose, you always being available for, you can do the things for different people, so be available for the people, be available for who you are working with, because there's always a purpose to everything. So purpose, and then the profit will always follow you. So this is my only thing I would tell my co-founders, my fellow people. Always there, and be thankful about what you are doing it, why you are delivering it. So there must be always a purpose of whatever you are doing, and hopefully everything will fall back eventually in the line, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. I'm apologies for throwing so many questions your way, Asif. But with the kind of experience you bring, it's hard not to be curious. There's one more question from my end. That in one sentence, what does from idea to impact means to you?
So from idea to impact is like I would say, always say, the startups do not fail because the code breaks. So it's always when the founder breaks. So do not break yourself. Like the idea about it, you do not have to. You have to take care behind the human hustle. That's your real what we call in our coding languages MVP, minimal viable product. So from idea you have to make it, you have to make work for yourself, and then everything will fall in place there.
That's really helpful. And from this, we are wrapping up. And thank you so much, Asif, for joining us today and sharing such honest and practical, inspiring insights. Thank you so much, and we look forward to have such sessions, such interactive session, and we'll love to have you here on site at NICAT very soon, inshallah. And
Inshallah.
until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep pushing from ideas to impact.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, everyone.
Sajaja. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.